Well, I think Jim mentioned last night over dinner, you read a study that the average person lies, I guess, 2 or 3 times a day.
That's what I'm asking. You think the average person lies 2 or 3 times a day?
Well, I can only think for myself, and I still lie, unfortunately. Little white lies, nothing significant, but I got to own it. Someone asks you how you are, you say, fine. Maybe I'm not that well, but I don't want to engage in a discussion. That's a lie, but it's a good lie, I think. I'm sorry. So, okay, so that's technically a lie. All I know is one lie, it sounds cliche, one lie can very easily lead to another and another. And for me, my lies started off pretty small, and I convinced myself that they were okay. So I can't speak for others, I'm not in your head. For me, my lies were I just didn't think they were that significant, that big a deal. I figured it was just part and parcel to doing business. That if I'm going to call you to do a stock trade, sometimes brokers make an exaggeration. Is it misrepresentation or is it puffery? Which one is it? Am I puffing? Am I lying? What is it? Well, the trade worked out. The end result was okay. So there's a lot of different approaches to lying, I guess. But yes, I would say let's be practical. I'm not an ethicist. I'm not a professor. I'm not a lecturer. I'm a guy that got out of prison a year ago that tells the story with the hopes that it'll help you do better. And yes, lying was a part of what I did then, and I'm sure there are days where I still lie frequently. But it was a big part of what I did, and you can't get away from it. And yes, a lot of small little white lies that grew into something very big. Actually, the bigger lies, those are easier to get away with, truth be told. I mean, the bigger the lies, the more outlandish, the more people believe them. Like Madoff, do you believe some of these returns that he was generating? People believed them. The higher the number, the more people wanted to believe it. It's crazy. It's crazy. The lies were so great that it was hard not to question them. They couldn't be lies if they were that big. I think that's something worth noting. Yes?
When you were growing up and through the time you went through college, did you ever experience failure, or was just everything a success?
I had never really failed. And anytime I did fail, my parents did a very good job of protecting me from failure. In fact, making it seem as if it wasn't a failure. So I never really knew how to deal with struggle or overcome struggle, because when I did, my parents just seemed to always make it right. So no, I wouldn't say that I ever dealt with failure to a degree. I mean, what was failure? I went to a good prep school. I got a scholarship to play baseball at USC. I graduated. I got a very good job in the brokerage world. I started to make significant money. I had friends. I was social. I had made my parents proud. Small setbacks along the way, but nothing significant that could be categorized as a failure. My first real failure was going to prison. That was and I struggled. That's why I think I struggled with it so poorly. The lying, cheating my way through lie detector tests, lying to the FBI, shutting out my family. I did all of that because I didn't know how to deal with struggle, and I didn't know how to deal with failure.
I was kind of getting the impression maybe that was the thing that was missing.
Yes, I had never dealt with it.
You know, is that you expected to succeed and almost expected it to be easy?
It had always been easy. Baseball was always easy. School was always easy. Relationships were always easy. It was always easy. It was always easy.